Miccosukee, where we come from, we're Haudenosaunee people. We're the Iroquois Sky Dancers, and we represent, we have 6 nations within our confederacy, within the Iroquois Confederacy. And we were looking at it the other day, and we said, we got this for all 6, but we're missing some Onondagas. We don't have any Onondagas in our group here. But we have Mohawks, we have Oneidas, and when we greet each other, what we say is we say, Sego. You all say that? Sego. Sego. And then as we move along, Onondagas and Cayugas, how they greet each other, they say, Scano. Scano. And then our Seneca relatives, when they greet each other, they say, Nyawa Scano. Nyawa Scano. And then also with us, we have some Tuscaroras. Oh, it sounds like we got some Tuscaroras out in the crowd as well. When they greet each other, they say, Twang. 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 So that's how we greet each other. Now we greeted each other. We get to know each other a little bit better by sharing some of our songs and dances, and we're so happy that you're able to join us here this afternoon, and we're happy to share our culture with you all here as much as we can here this afternoon. So that first dance that we done, in our language we call that Gatdatro, and where I come from, in the Oneida territory, we call it Lahandesa. And what that means is it means that he leads. So a lot of times our people would use that when they would go off. In times past, when we were going to war, they would use that as a war dance to send the warriors out. But they tell us that when the peacemaker came along and planted that white pine, and that's why I said we got some trees of peace here up on the stage. And what we done is that we buried our weapons beneath that tree of peace. And they said that there was an underground current there that took our weapons away from our sight so that we wouldn't go to war against each other anymore. And then that's what we were told, is that from the base of that tree that there were 4 white roots that grew into the 4 directions. And they told our leaders to go out and travel into those 4 directions and spread that message of peace all across Turtle Island, what is known as North America today. So over the last 1,000 years or so, maybe longer, 1,500, 2,000 years, that's what our people have been doing, is traveling all across Turtle Island and spreading that message of peace. And so now, what we use this dance for, that first dance that we done, is a lot of times when we go traveling, and they would say that where our villages were built was there was usually a clearing there. And our people would travel through the forests, because where we come from in our homelands, in New York State, there's a lot of woodland area around there. And so when we would travel and we would come to a clearing where there was a village, we wouldn't just walk up to the village, we would stop and we would kindle a fire. And then when we would wait, we would send that smoke up, and then they would have people within the village that were waiting. They would say that they were looking for smoke. And when they would see that smoke rising, they would send runners out to come and greet whoever it was that made that fire, to see if we were there for a good visit. Maybe we were there to invite them to a meeting or to a ceremony or something. And then that's what they would do, is they would start to do that dance that we just done. And they would bring them into the community. And then everybody there would start getting ready to welcome the visitors in. You know, getting the food ready and getting a place ready for them to stay. And that's how we would use that as a welcoming dance. And so usually when we have social dances at home, or when we have these dance shows like this, then that's what we do, is we start off and we do one of our welcoming dances. And we have other welcoming dances as well, where we've taken other dances again and repurposed them. Maybe they were old war dances, maybe they were hunting dances. They would also use this as a hunting dance as well. So you could see that when we were going around there was a certain part in the song where we would all turn and we would face in. And that's where they would say they would have that war bundle, or they would have that hunting bundle in the middle of the circle there. And everybody would turn in and they would look at it. And they would say they would use your mind, the power of your good mind, to charge up those weapons, those bows and arrows, so that the hunters could go out and they could have a good hunt. And that's how they would use that dance for the hunters. And also that last song, that's what they're talking about in there, that the hunters are traveling. So they would say that, Hodiga Payanunye. That means that they're paddling. So that's why you see me dancing around there and I'm going like that. Hodiga Payanunye. So that means they're paddling. And then the answer to that our little friend back here, Emerson, he's saying, Hanongwe. What does that mean, Hanongwe? You know what that means? It means the men. The men that they're gone off, they're traveling by canoe. Because a long time ago, that's how we used to travel. So pretty much our whole crew, we all drove down here all the way from Canada, some from New York State, near the Buffalo area, and we all got in our cars and we drove down. That's how we travel today. But a long time ago, that's what we would have been doing. We would have been paddling to get here. Maybe we would have to go up to the eastern seaboard there and paddle all along the coast to get down here. So that's that first dance that we done. And the second dance that we're going to do, like I said, part of the responsibility of our leadership was to go and to travel into the four directions and spread that message of peace. And what happened was that during the time of encroachment, the European encroachment onto our lands, is that a lot of our people were pushed to the west. And some of our people, Haudenosaunee people, got moved out to Oklahoma. And they started to intermarry with the different groups because there was a lot of different tribes that got moved out there. And they wanted to just create this indigenous people state in the United States. And that was going to be Oklahoma. So there was a lot of our people that got moved out there. And over time, that's what happened, was that Haudenosaunee people, that we started to intermarry with some of our relatives out there from other tribes. And so in the 1940s and the 1950s, some of our people started to travel out there again to reconnect with their relatives. And they said one of the songs that they brought back with them is what they call a rabbit dance. So in our language, we call it Wayang Neha. Wayang Neha, that's what we call it then. Wayangha, that's what we call a rabbit. Wayang. And so then that's what we call this dance. Some of them, they call it Wayanggeha. And they say that this dance, when they do this dance, it's usually a woman's choice dance. So the woman will go out and choose her partner, whoever it is that she wants to dance with. And so they would say that if a woman approached you and you refused her, that was disrespectful. It was disrespectful to that woman. And where we come from, with our people, where we follow a matrilineal society, so our names, our clans, our nation, everything comes from our women. And so we always try to do things in a respectful way. So when they come and they ask you to dance, then that's what we're supposed to do, is we're supposed to accept that, and we go up there and we dance with them. Because that's all it is. It's just a dance. It's nothing more than that. We're doing it for fun. But they also say that when we dance that dance, the way that they dance is that they hold on to each other's arms, and then what they do is that they swing their arms back and forth. And then they say they go 2 steps forward, and then they go 1 step back, and then 2 steps forward, and then 1 step back. And that's what they tell us, is that in life can be like that sometimes, where it seems like you're moving along and everything's going just fine in life. And then all of a sudden, something happens and it hits you, and it sets you back a step. But then that's what you gotta do. You gotta pick yourself up, dust yourself off, keep moving. You're gonna move ahead 2 steps again. Take 1 step back, something's going to happen again. But you keep going, you don't stop. So that's how that circle continues to go. It's because we're always continuing to move forward, no matter what comes at us down the road. Whatever kind of hardship or trouble might come at us, you keep moving forward no matter what. So that's what this dance, it reminds us of that as well. That in all of our lives we're going to go through hard times, but we got to keep moving forward. So hona gele bigai ka ne hona ne nai wat la no dong ne chingala no da ne wayang ne ha ne tunu ne do na dong da ne tona yong ha ge me wa ni go.
start